Good evening, members of Spiritual Encrypted Encounters. I'm your host, HCS. This is Werewolf Wednesday, take two. Uh, Something happened where I lost connection. So, good job, Brother Yizamizel, Sister Brenda. I believe it was Andres that was in there holding up the show. So, I rebooted it, and here we are on Spiritual Encrypted Encounters. For those that are tuning in on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, we stream. And for those who follow my show TikToks under HCS895. How's everybody doing tonight? I hope everybody's doing good. Let me share out this link to the other groups. There we go. We're all shared out. Who do we got here? We got the real wino. How you doing? There's Using Mizzle. We got Ronan the Voice. Andres. Let me drop a link. You want to come back on, just in case it happens again. Here you go. I'll pin it up on top. Sorry about the technical uh, difficulties. I guess I had a connection interruption that it booted me out. I could see everybody speaking and everything. I just couldn't. My camera was disabled and my microphone was disabled from the connection loss. So I had to reset. There's Brother Steven using Mizzle. How you doing, Brother Steven?
Doing well.
Hear me?
I held down the fort as best I could, given the
Yeah,
circumstances.
yeah. I wanted to let it go a little bit longer. Then I just, it was like about an hour and 50 minutes. I had to reset it. I couldn't. My mic and my camera was disabled from the shortage. But you're still on the show, and I can still operate everything here. It's just I couldn't speak or nothing, but that's okay. It said something about a connection interrupted a couple
And
of
it was the same
times.
thing, like earlier when I first joined on the other stream. That's what happened with me. Like I was still able to see myself moving on screen, but you froze, and then it was like my internet connection froze, and then the whole computer just froze. Like I couldn't move my mouse, so that's why I had to do the hard reset on the power. I
Yeah,
don't know.
I'm
Was this the
thinking is
photo you were trying to show?
this. I was just trying to put Cooking Werewolf back on there. Well, I shared the one that I wanted to share with you earlier. Did I say I was going to share another photo?
There was one you were prepping to do, and then that's when everything went haywire. Was like a secondary one.
Yeah, I
Because
couldn't.
we were talking about it, and then you said you couldn't, or the chat said that they weren't seeing it, and it was just us on here. And then you dropped off, and I didn't even realize it was just me.
Damn, I guess me feeling not that well, it affected the computer. something, man. I think it should say connection interrupted. I noticed when you were frozen, Sister Brenda was freezing some, and for a little bit. So I figured it had to do with the connection.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I drink some of my water too.
I was hearing the stories that you were talking about.
Yeah,
There was a
there's a lot of history here. I don't really talk about it that often. So, like, thank you for giving me the opportunity to. I could just make videos on my channel, but like I said before, I want to gather everything together first, and then
yeah.
have like a comprehensive like research on it and go over like what I've captured, what other people have captured, the myths and legends versus what actually happened. But yeah, there's a serial killer that was at the World's Fair that was building a death house. There's just so much. I don't even know where to begin with all this stuff. To be honest, H. Holmes was that serial killer. He made a business on the first floor for it was like a pharmacy, but he would take his victims, clean the bones, and then sell them to universities. And I don't know if some of these schools still have those skeletons.
It was dead people.
Yeah, and I guess no questions about how he acquired them, but over time, I guess like the stories and rumors were circulating while he was still alive, and he got caught while he was alive. So he was prosecuted, and I think he was put to death, rightfully so too, because he probably killed hundreds, if not thousands, of people.
Wow.
And he built this
Who
uh,
is this guy?
H. Holmes,
It's showing.
Holmes. I got two different books on it on that topic. So actually, the second one I got is probably the more like research heavy one. The first one is just a novella. I don't put too much credit to like somewhat fictionalized history, but it's a good storytelling book. It's called The Devil in the White City, and it just parallels between the supposed architect of the World's Fair, Daniel Burnham, and everything he was going through trying to plan the layout of the White City for the World's Fair and all the delays he was running into, and then it would jump like from chapter to chapter between him and H. Holmes, the serial killer, where he's hiring people to build a certain section of like the second story of the building, and then he fires them and hires new people to finish it. So not one single person would know the entire layout of this building. And he had hallways that went nowhere. He had literal gas chamber rooms where he would run gas in there to help. Like, I don't believe the World War II stories. Like, all of our history is a lie for the most part. All right. So a lot of like just take everything with a grain of salt. But but for a serial killer to do something like this, where he has a tiny room where he's pumping gas in there to suffocate people, that has a little more credence given all the documentation of him building the house, the building, and then the fact that it was still there for people to make reports on, and the location is verified, and you can find it. It's just an empty lot today, and people who have visited there, I haven't, but people who have gone there said they feel the energy is very, very heavy there, and rightfully so with all of the accounts of just missing people and murders. And just like the location of where he put that, it was close to the World's Fair. So people traveling to Chicago from out of the country, out of state, they'd come along, and I guess he was just scooping people up or inviting them to the place and then trapping them. And he had a big old mustache, like if I were to shave my chin hair off. So the Devil in the White City book, the rights were purchased by Leonardo DiCaprio, and they were supposed to make a film on it. And that's still kind of just floating around. Another book that was purchased by DiCaprio and Scorsese, The Wolf of Wall Street, that took probably 10 years after they purchased it to make the movie. And I think it's starting to get to that 10-year mark with The Devil in the White City with the rights. Leo asks, was that fire really caused by a cow? I don't think so. I think that was a myth. There's some overhead maps showing how the fire like spread across the city. It went through the entire downtown and it hopped the Chicago River. Now, back at the time, the Chicago River, it was flowing in reverse to what it is today, because they dredged the river at some point so that all of the, instead of it flowing in from Lake Michigan and then the river would go and split off and go into the suburbs, now all the rivers flow into Lake Michigan. And I think they did that because all the dumping they were doing, you got to think at the time of the Chicago fire, there was a bunch of just like oils. You got to think like cooking oils, dead carcasses of animals. You have all of this stuff that could easily ignite, and that's probably why the fire jumped the river. And I just don't understand the aftermath photos, because it looks like Dresden after that. It looks like the entire city was firebombed. And you have buildings that were made of brick that look like they exploded. So how does a fire in Chicago show that? So what are we looking at here, Abe?
It's an image of something that I captured down that trail. That it was right behind me or right beside me. I took my face shot. My face was like right here to the side, somewhere around here. But I just placed this image. Look at this sucker, man. You see the beastly manifestation? What do you think that is? You can see the face right here. And he's standing on twos. I was just sharing it, but it's doing it to me again, man. I'm at a I don't even
There's a
know.
lot going on in the photo.
Yeah, let me see. Let me see. I can get back to you, man, because it sent me.
So that's
It's not letting me. I don't know what's going on with this. So I'm not able to see nothing.
yeah, it's just showing the photo on the screen. It doesn't have us up.
Okay, let me stop sharing it for right now. There we go. I need to minimize the camera. That's what it is. There we go. So, but how did the photo look? Did it look real big or look the regular size?
It was full screen. So it showed like the slide carousel on the bottom and then the X at the top for the window to close.
Let me share it one more time. Just don't know what happened. And I go back to you. There we go. All right. There we go.
All right, so
What
I
do you
see
think
something up near the top. It looks like a head with an arm extended out.
Yeah. You see the head right there on the. Let me share it. Right here.
All right, so
It's
that's
like that.
different from what I was looking at. See,
So
some
what?
of these I need you to point them out to me because
Yeah,
like
yeah,
my eyes aren't seeing it right away.
and there's definitely something here standing, man. You can see his figure down here.
Yeah, and
But
those
it's
little points of light too seem
yeah,
to
yeah,
have something to do with it.
like it's manifesting right there.
Yeah.
Remember I told you that it looks beastly, like it looked to me like demonic.
Hmm.
That might be it right there, man. Kind of looks like when people talk about like the goat man and stuff like that. It looks like the face looks beastly right there. But yeah, you can see the body and everything right by the path. I seen it. I said, well, let me share this. You know, it's World Wednesday because I don't see no werewolf from this one. It looks and it kind of looks like a face of a ram or a goat or something like that. I don't know what the hell it is, but you can see it right here, the face, like the nozzle here, the eyes. Looks like an ear or something here or a horn. I don't know, just a crazy capture. I just wanted to share this for those
Yeah,
tuning in.
this it's
Maybe
like a painting.
let's see if the people can see view what's there.
There's a lot happening in the photo. I Similar to your other captures you get.
Yeah,
I think there's multiple entities here because it's hard for me to focus on one certain thing and make stuff
yeah.
out. But I
Well, they
see
said
someone at the top, and then
that
the
there are many, so they're able to manifest as one, but in many, right?
yeah.
We're getting our viewers back. We lost a lot of viewers, but that's okay. Okay.
Yeah, we're more than halfway back. We were hitting 40 viewers while you were gone. Like that was pretty
Yeah, I
impressive.
know. That's why I was letting it run. You know, I was letting it run. Let me see if I can find another photo. I guess Sister Brenda called it a night. It's already 2 in the morning here in Central Texas.
Yeah, she put that idea of going to Salem in my head. Thanks, Brenda. It's 40 minutes from where I'm going to be.
Salem.
Yeah. Oh, that's right on the coast. See, I want to go up to New Hampshire, though. Oh, there's a Salem in New Hampshire. See, I think all of these, I don't know if I said this last night. Like, there's these cities like Hollywood, Florida, where do they just expect to take random travelers and trick them and say, yeah, yeah, you're in California. This is Hollywood, Florida, but this is Hollywood. I don't understand how all these there's so many names of so many cities and towns and villages, and some of them seem like they just didn't put any effort into it. I got to research the best place to get clam chowder in New Hampshire. Now, is there werewolf activity on the East Coast that you know of?
That I know of. And I don't know. All I know is that I did run into a gypsy, but you know, gypsies are witches also. And she told me that the werewolves are real, but she says that they summon them, that the witches summon them. That this is this the werewolves are actual demons, you know, spirits of or demons that they summon. That they come in the form or the manifestation of a werewolf. That's what the gypsy witch told me when I was stationed in Erlangen, Germany. That they're summoned. That they're not actual people that shapeshift into werewolves, but we know that there is some kind of shape shifting with the witches and warlocks because they have some have those capabilities. They're able to change form from person to like the witches into a what we call a lechusa, which is the harpy. They have those abilities. I've heard of a lot of man. I ran into something real strange. So we're talking about this when I was in Germany, where it was 2 in the morning. The bar was in closed. As I was stepping out, I seen people going downstairs. I seen them going downstairs. Next door, there was a downstairs. So there was a bunch of females going down. A couple of they were like couples, I guess. So I said, "Man, I've never been there before. Let me go check it out." So I went downstairs. As soon as I was the last person in, they closes this door. It was like made out of steel, big door. It was a big guy, and the Undertaker probably would look like a midget compared to this guy because this guy was massive, man, huge, very tall, big. And he grabbed this big old iron door and closed it. He grabbed this chain, he yanked it. It was a big thick chain, and he put a big old lock on it. A lock with he had a big key around his neck. So I'm looking at this, and I'm in this. It's like a cavern. It's underground, right? It looks like a cave or a den. And I'm there, and I'm looking, and there's a bar. They have the. It's kind of like techno, but it's got the different color of fluorescent lights all throughout the bar. It's not too bright. It's dark in there, and there's couples in the booths sitting, and there's they're just chit chatting the couples. Then I see this girl that's talking to this guy in the booth. She runs and jumps on the bar, and she starts crawling like an animal on the freaking bar, and I'm like, what the hell? And she's growling, acting strange. She jumps off the bar, runs over to the couple that's to the far left, and she goes in and starts kissing the guy. Then she bites the guy on the cheek. Then the girl that's with that guy runs across the bar and starts making out with the other guy over there. And I'm like, what's going on here? I'm freaking out because the way they're all acting, they're scratching. I know, like I don't know, they're acting like they're like some kind of like a werewolf or something, right? Because they're biting, the females are biting the guys, and I'm standing by the door, man. I'm like standing by the door. The guard is right there, and everybody starts acting strange, animalistic. I look at the guy and I say, "Hey, man, you need to let me out. So I have to work tomorrow. I need to go." And he said, I look like a midget compared to this guy. So I'm looking at him, and he's not trying to open the door for me. So I keep on acting. They're acting strange, man. I'm not talking about they're biting and making growling sounds. And I said, man, you need to let me out. I was fixing to fight the dude, even though I don't know what would have happened because it was humongous. But because I felt like I was in danger the way the people were acting. Never seen nothing like that before. So he looked at me, and this is what he told me. He said, "You're lucky." He said, "You're lucky I'm letting you out. Don't you open the door, just a little gap, and let me out." But that's what he told me. "You're lucky I'm letting you out." So what was happening in there, I do not know, man. All I know is that people were acting like freaking werewolves, like it was a den of some sort, man. Not unless they were pretending to be werewolves, I don't know, but I witnessed that, and he told me I was lucky. I don't know. I didn't want to find out I was the main course. So I got the hell out of there.
Yeah, it's always good to listen to your gut with that.
Yeah, I was 19 years old when I went. Is that this guy was I, huge, man. It was big, big dude. But he let me. He opened the door. It was huge. He was this guy was looked like a. We talk about Nephilim. This guy was humongous, man. He had to be over 7 foot tall, man. It was huge, and he it was huge, tall, and wide. You talk about Andre the Giant. Well, that guy
Yeah.
was like a giant in there. He was able to move a big thick chain, man, by himself. That's how big he was.
Wow.
I never went back to that location. Now, is it what kind of I don't know. All I know was like a cave. It was a cavern because you could see like the form like that. There was a lot of clubs there. Just there was a couple of them that I would go, but I would just I would just go to two main ones that I would go to, which was one called Cheers and the other one was called B15s. Besides that, I wouldn't go nowhere else. I try to socialize with the Germans, but they're in their own little world. I mean, when you have the military haircut, you know that you're in the military, so some of them will associate with you and some won't, but it is what it is. That was one of the craziest. That one and the one when I encountered that witch, man, the gypsy. That she looked very young, very beautiful, looked like a model. I've told you all that story, but yeah, yeah, man, I had to get out of there. I feel something. I feel your senses are let you know you're in danger. So I follow my senses. I was lucky that the dude let me out, man. I think I was in there when he locked the door. I was there for about 2 3 minutes, man, and I kept on telling let me out, man, just let me out. And he's looking at me. He didn't want me, let me out, but then he opened it and man, got the hell out of there real quick. I don't know, man. If it was a den of wolves or people that have the capability to manifest, uh, either I was going to be dead or there was going to be a lot of dead wolves because I was going to fight. If I had to fight, uh, I was highly trained, man. Uh, if I had to do death blows, whatever, I was going to do whatever it took, to. But there was too many of them. I think I was in a location that there was like 20 people in there, 20 against one. I don't know what the outcome of that one would have been. Somebody, this here, I'll drop another link. You want to jump on here, so y'all can talk more about other things. But yeah, the nightlife in Germany is very eerie. Some of the buildings you can still see the markings from the bombs where they were burnt and stuff like that. Certain locations from the when the war happened. Yeah. So, what have you heard? You've heard anything about werewolves? You said in
Um,
the West Coast. I've heard of stories of Nosferatu and of Reptilian in California. Certain location in San Diego where there's supposedly Nosferatu there. There's Andres right there.
What's up,
hey,
fellas?
I'm back.
Yeah, I was just wondering. It definitely sounds like you walked into something that's obviously not good, involves something very sinful. And judging on what the size you were talking about, definitely people who were into a lifestyle that is not really meant for normal people. And it's very possible that they purposely led you into that to see if you would give in to temptation. and you obviously didn't because you obviously resist that for a good long while. That's why I asked. That's why I said it looks like you walked into, like you said before, a possible den or a ritual that involves sinful behavior, to put it lightly.
But the when the security let me out, he said you're lucky. That's all he told me. You're lucky.
I'm surprised they would
So,
even allow
all,
you
all
into.
he, yeah, he let me out. It was a big dude. He said you're lucky. That's all he told me.
The fact he said that and is, did he react like this happens every day, or is this like something he's used to? Because if that's what happens,
But
I'm surprised you were
he
even
was
out.
right by the door too, man. He was like his back is by the wall like this, just viewing everything, and I was right there by him. I never stepped into the bar. I stayed by the door because he
Oh,
didn't give me. As soon as I stepped in, he locked the door with this big old thick chain, man. He grabbed it and it came out of the wall, and you could hear like in the links. And he put it on the and put a bit this big old padlock, man. He had a key around his neck.
okay,
I mean, why
yeah,
would he? Why would
that's
he put a chain in there, like
okay.
with
The only
with
the
a
only
big
reason
thick
he would even,
chain?
I've only seen that type of shit in movies with werewolves and okay, you guys seen The Howling, right?
No.
Like the movie series. What Abe's actually describing, it sounds actually very similar to something that happens in the movies, and it is not pretty. And I admit I may have watched that at an age I wasn't supposed to, and even then it was mostly at a babysitter's house. But what you're describing sounds very similar to that, and you know how the media, Hollywood has just shoved this stuff in our faces a lot, just showing us the truth. And that reminds me a lot of what you're talking, Abe. And the fact that he was the guy, the security, was he the biggest there?
Yeah, he was the biggest. He was huge, man. You couldn't miss him. I looked
Right.
like a midget compared to this guy. It was tall and wide, man, like huge, humongous.
Okay, yeah, he was probably there to make sure that nobody got out in case somebody decided to, possibly shapeshift. And the fact that he had the key on his neck and the chain came from inside the wall. it- That's what you said. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's there to make sure that nobody, in case they actually get out and a little out of control, to keep them in there so they don't cause too much disturbance. When you went back outside, could you hear anything from the inside, or was it just completely muffled?
couldn't hear nothing, man. It was,
Yeah,
I mean,
I
this
was afraid of that too.
this
If you
this this
stayed,
gold, this gate, oh, this metal door, man, was huge, solid.
yeah,
That's why
that's
I don't know how he was able to close that, man. He was just a big fella.
yeah. Somebody just asked how tall you are, Abe.
I'm 5'10", and I look at like a midget to this guy, man. He was huge. That when I seen him, uh, I remember how tall like the Undertaker would be, but this guy was way taller than the Undertaker, man. But he told me you're lucky. That's why. Why would he tell me you're lucky?
And this was just on a
That's
random night that you were just walking around.
well, I come out of the bar, and then that bar was right next to the bar. I seen people going downstairs. So I said, I've never been down there. Let me go check it out. And as soon as I entered, that was the last one. The dude closed the door real fast. You
Oh
know,
yeah, you were definitely
I
probably
guess
going to be a sacrifice.
I guess he thought I was with him. You see?
I don't think they expected anyone to really go down there unless you knew what was happening.
Oh no, that was. I would just follow the person right in front of me, man. And as soon as I entered, he closed the door real fast. It is a big door, all metal, thick.
So you've
And then
seen. Sorry, keep going.
it just happened so fast, man. When I seen him grab the chain, it was one of those with big links, man, huge. You could hear it, and then he hooked it up, and he put this big old padlock, and he had a key. He had like a chain and a big old key on his neck. the key to that padlock. Trust me, it would have been like some kind of orgy or something.
That's
I
literally what
would
I said. That
I would
that
have
could
been
have
able.
been.
I would have been able to see that because there was couples. That's the first thing that I thought that was going on when I seen the girl that was with a couple with a dude come to this, started kissing him. But when she started bite, which how she crawled on the bar was not like whoa, what the. I was like, she's walking like an animal, like on the prowl. Then she jumped off of it, went up to the dude and started biting him on the freaking cheek and the neck. Then the girl ran and started doing the same thing to the other guy, and I'm like, what the fuck's going on here? In my mind, I look at the guy, and the guy's by the wall just looking, and I tell him, hey, you didn't let me out. He didn't want to let me out, and they were just acting animal like they're animals, you know. They wasn't. I should have say didn't see nobody screwing anybody or anything like that. It's just they were biting each other like freaking animals and clawing each other and shit. So that's when it was time for me to. I felt danger, and I was looking, and everybody there, man, was acting that way. And I need to get out of here, but it looked like a den, like a cave, the or a tavern, but it's cave-like.
Did you see any animal skins hanging on the walls?
No,
So it was just all rock, no, nothing like that.
dark. It was just dark in there, man. I could see the bartender, and I could see all the bottles. The bar was right in the center, and all the booths were around the bar. But it was dark.
Yeah, Bounty
Yeah,
wants to know.
like a boat anchor chain, something like that, but made out of steel. It was like a rusty color look. You know what I'm saying? The rusty color, like just a regular chain, but a thick one. Somebody said, did the sittings areas on the floor looks like they can be hosed down? Like I said, I didn't pay attention to that. Everything was dark. The ceiling looked like a black, like a cave, man. It looked like a cave. Even though the ground looked like a cave. I'm thinking it was a den.
So how dark was it? Like,
It didn't smell like any blood or nothing like that, but when they started acting animalistic, yeah, you know, the first thing that crossed my mind wasn't about it. It was people doing an orgy or nothing like that. The first thing that crossed my mind is freaking werewolves. I'm gonna be honest. That's why I was trying to get out of there just in case there was some kind of a transformation or whatever was going to happen. But yeah, they were biting each other real hard, dude. Like I'm not talking about little bites. I'm talking about like bites and growling. The guys and the girls were doing that to each other. So, but I never went back after that. Screw that. Now let's went through some freaky shit
and this was when you were deployed in Germany.
in Germany. This happened in 1990. 1990.
Yeah, I gotta agree with what Robert said in the chat. You would have been great or Ian.
Great or Eden. I don't know. I was fixing to fight the bouncer, man. I did practice. I do know, you know, boxing and martial arts, and I was fixing to fight him for the key to unlock the door. But I don't know if I was going to be able to open it up because it was real heavy. I guess It's all steel. I was going to try to find my way out of there, But he let me out and he said, "You're lucky." Why would he say you're lucky?
Well, obviously, you're not the first person who would have done what you did, except they weren't as lucky as you.
Yeah, makes you wonder, man, what's really out there. When you hear about werewolves, then you hear of the Nosferatu. I've seen some weird shit of the Nosferatu station in Germany too, man. Um, I think I shared the story where I was coming out of the bar and I was walking. I was walking back to the billets. It's a couple of miles to make it to the village, like 2 3 miles, and I was walking for the club because I had spent all my money and I couldn't get a cab, so I said, "Fuck it, I'll go walking." So I was walking and I noticed this guy dressed all in black, like he looked like he had a top hat and he had like a cape, kind of like the when somebody goes to the operas or whatever.
You listen to somebody dressed from another time.
And then he was walking behind me, and I noticed that everywhere I turned, he would turn. So I kept on walking. I said, I'm going to go a different route than the route I go. And I can always backtrack just to make sure he's not following me. So I went a different route, and there he coming. I got to this section where, as I was walking, he was like walking 2 3 times faster than me. And I was walking fast. He was walking faster and catching up on me. So I said, okay, I'm going to go around this building and I'm going to be ready, wait for him. So if he tries to attack me, I'm going to fight him. So I ran around the building and I had my guards up, ready to to fight the guy because he had been following me for about 15 blocks, right? Like
Yeah,
around 15 blocks.
you shared this on my channel, that story.
And
But yeah.
when I was waiting for him, he came out the block over. He stood. There was a creek. There was a creek and a little bridge to my left. He came out on the other block, turned around, faced me, and looked at me. He took up his top hat and went like this. He grabbed his freaking cane, turned around, and walked the other way. It's kind of like he knew I was waiting for him to fight him. I could, it's like he knew. So he went over there, and then I seen some couple came out of nowhere, and I was like, hey, can you guide me to the? I'm in the middle. I'm lost. Can you guide me the right direction? And he said, sure. You can follow us. So I stayed with him, and that whatever it was went the other direction. But he knew that I was waiting. I was gonna fight him in that corner. So how would he know? And he goes and turns around and faces me and goes like that with his hat, and he walks away from me. But he's like a block away. I'm thinking that individual right there, I feel like he could have been a Nosferatu, if something in that nature. The Hat Man, I don't know. Just the way he was dressed like back in the days, man. And of all the time that I've been there in Germany, and I will go clubbing to the bars, I've never seen nobody dressed that way. It was just that day, that encounter, I seen somebody dressed that way.
Let me guess, it was at night and wasn't in the day.
Was that? It was
It was,
nighttime.
yeah.
Nighttime. But I will do. I will stop the show in about 15 minutes. So if y'all want something to share, go ahead, man. I just remember those encounters, man. That the witch, the one with the gypsy witch that I told you all about, how she was very beautiful when she invited me to her house, and I fell asleep. And when I woke up, she was laying down beside me, and then I look, and it was that old lady blocking the dam. I heard a thump on the ground, thump, thump, thump. and I'm looking. It's dark. It was just an apartment, and there's somebody blocking the doorway, sitting native style, Indian style, and there's this old lady with her eyes rolled back white, freaking foam coming out of her mouth. I'm like, what the fuck? And I'm looking for the girl, that was real pretty, and I just got up real slow. I walked around her. The freaking door had a lot of freaking chains, and I'm looking like that, and she's just still freaking. There's blood coming out of her hand. She broke a mirror. Those mirrors that you can stand on the wall so you can look at yourself. She was fucking slamming the. It was a wooden floor. She was slamming the piece of glass on the ground. So I got up real slow. Went around and started looking like this, and I left the door open. I took off running. I've never ran so hard, man. I would have beat O.J. Simpson. I would have beat Usain Bolt. I was flying back to the billets, man. I was, and I kept on looking back because I was getting images that she was coming after me, like she was trying to. So I didn't even go through the main gate. You're supposed to show your ID. I ran all the way to where the wall was behind my billets. I jumped the wall, dude. It was like a 20-foot wall. I literally ran, jumped, grabbed the wall, and went over it, man. That's how freaked out I was or what I witnessed, you know. Went from a girl that was around my age, 19, 20, looking like an old lady that looked like she was like in her freaking 80s. Not unless the girl lived with her mother, but I don't know. I didn't. I think it was a bruja. Then I remember being at the Strawberry Fest and my friends were drinking and said, "Hey man, we want to show you something." And they told me, you know where they do this fest, right? The Strawberry Fest. I said, no. It's a local legend about she's called the Strawberry Fest Witch. And my friends were like, she comes out once a year and seduces someone to obtain their energy so she can live longer.
Wow.
This is what they told me, and they showed me the statue. When I seen the statue, the Fest Witch didn't look like the old lady had seen. The Fist Witch looked like the girl that was in the bar talking to me. I don't know, man. And then she had like some kind of familiar with her or some kind of pet. Also, on the statue, there was a statue. There was a water fountain, and there was a bench. And this is what my friend showed me. Yeah, I don't know. I'm one of those guys that if there's a puddle of water, it could be a lot of land, but I'm the one that's going to run into the puddle of water. This all has always been that way with me, man. But a lot of strange activity. I run into it all the time.
Sounds like
You know,
that way.
when you see things and it's been like that all your life, it's a given, man. You're gonna run into shit that other people would never be able to see. But I'm that person. I run into that kind of stuff. It's always been that way. The When I left Germany, I went to this location uh, in another town. They were going to give me some orders. I was getting my orders because they were sending me back to the States. There was a picture of people that were AWOL. And I was looking at all these soldiers' faces on the walls. And I told them, how come that many soldiers, why would that many soldiers be AWOL? And they told me, well, they're AWOL, but we've never been able to find them. They're actually missing, but we consider them AWOL till we find where they're at or their location. But there was thousands, dude, of missing Americans in Europe. Thousands.
Yeah, Robert. In terms of that comment, you, in my opinion, you really shouldn't consider yourself like your star signs, Capricorn, that sort of stuff. Because according to some people, if you start saying you are, you're taking the characteristics of some of those signs, and those signs, according to some people's videos I've read, viewed, you're actually taking on the name of a demon. If you start saying you're like a Capricorn, you're an Aries, you start taking on this characteristics, and you're saying yes to that demon whose sign that belongs to. So, I am. I don't use that. He was also asking you, Abe, if you're an Aries.
Oh no, I'm not an Aries.
What do you guys think about what I just said about taking on?
I'm like Bruce Lee, man.
Nice.
I'm not sure.
Aquarius,
I'm a Capricorn.
water.
What so am I?
And so is Brenda too.
You're kidding, right?
No.
Damn.
We joke around saying that's why we oh look, I speak her name when she appears.
Yep. Abe beyond.
I say that's why we butt heads a lot too. Brenda and I are very stubborn people. So if we're set on an idea and they conflict, then we can get a little catty with each other. That's all good.
Well, Abe, looks like you got 3 Capricorns on your channel.
Capricorns. This is a one that my brother he's working right now. He's been working the night shift. He has alternating shifts where sometimes he works during the day, then he works at nighttime. I'm gonna share this photo. What do you think this is on the photo? Let me share it with you. If it allows me. There you go.
Is that the moon?
What do you think that green is there?
Oh, I was looking at something else. There's definitely like a spirit of some kind in orb form.
Yeah. He be
Is that the
catching a lot of
moon?
activity out there, man.
Is that the moon there in the sky?
Yeah, this is the moon here, but this is look two
It's
circular things
yeah,
here.
Yeah, it looks like there's 2.
it's pretty odd.
Yeah, that's from my brother. He sent me that photo. I
What?
was just trying to figure out what is it.
It looks like around it also has a larger sphere.
Yeah, it does, but it's faded in a way.
Mm-hmm. That could be an energy field.
Well, it's not just green. The light green around it's even. I also see like a very pale red.
Yeah, I see that.
But I do get another photo, man, and this one looks freaked out. And it's dealing with the same spot. The moon doesn't even look like it's there because it looks freaked out on here. Like there's 2 energy things here, and I'm gonna share with y'all. One of them looks like I don't know, to me like a bruja, but the other one is just like something of energy. That is, and I know it's not doesn't look like the moon. Unless he was moving the camera, I don't know, but I'm gonna share it with y'all because everything moves in the picture. Here we go.
And okay, that's no. Well, it definitely looks like there's an energy form trying to run. It kind of
What do you
reminds me
think about that?
of
Gives a missile?
Oh, it, I it's really hard to. There's multiple things there.
Yeah. Because I figured that the moon is up here, right?
Yeah.
But that looks like a kind of like a snake, right?
It looks like
But
that entire space around it is like disoriented, which is causing the different lines of energy.
Yeah, the
yeah,
one
and
on the
then right
bottom
here,
portion looks really
like
anomalous.
right here, you see this? It looks like somebody. There's like something here, man, like floating.
Yeah, like the
Then there's
center is all it's in
a,
focus and clear in that tiny spot you just circled.
You know,
yeah.
the spot that Abe just circled right now, it looks like that black spot's actually holding on to the green energy like a spear.
Hmm. I just wanted to share that because you got this, and you got this.
Yeah,
And the green is still present in both of them, yeah.
yeah, it is.
But
The
that
more
bottom
It's
part
just, it's just
portion,
what's weird about this, it looks like a whole different, complete building than this. Check it out. See? Looks like it's got a roof.
is that not present when you're taking the photo? Like that's not
Oh, this is
building?
my brother. My brother took this
Your
photo. You
brother
see?
took, yeah. Yeah, it looks like a bigger building
Look,
in the second one. That
like
looks like a
yeah,
2-story, 3-story house there.
yeah. It looks like he's got a big roof. Like a, it looks different. Look
Yeah, it
at
looks like
the
it has a
home.
roof in the middle, and then it looks like another level above that, like another floor.
Yeah, but then you got this.
Huh.
Yeah, crazy, right? It goes to this two little things there. Yeah, I don't know, man.
And when did he take this? Like roughly how long ago?
He took this picture, the time frame when he lost his daughter,
Wow.
the same day.
that sucks. When you look at this image right now, you can actually see how the moon's like disoriented. If you can look down, it looks like there's more lines in a similar shape. To me, it looks like a bit of a grid pattern where it comes down and it's like splits down, at least on that side, or not on the side in the middle. It makes some of the image clear. The rest is just dis distorted.
Yeah,
If you just fill it in with like make the colors introverted where it's just black and white, you'll be able to see it better, in my opinion, if it was.
yeah. I just wanted to share that picture with you.
Well, that's a no one, and it sucks your brother got this photo around the time frame where he lost a loved one.
But yeah. See, look at the comments here. There was something definitely there, man, because I went with him that day to his house when everything happened. And he said, let me put my dog up. I was waiting outside of his house. And I seen something moving down the street very rapidly. And it stopped in the middle of the street. And I'm looking at it. It looks like a woman standing in the middle of the street. And I'm looking and I'm started praying the Our Father. And it's looking at me because she was moving like in spirit form, right? So I'm praying against it. Then my brother said, hey, bro. I said, let's go back to your house, right? So he gets in the vehicle. When he gets in the vehicle, that spirit that was in the street was right beside me. So I continued to pray, and I felt that it was something that was not good. So I rebuked you in Jesus Christ's name. Yeah, Normally, when somebody passes away, you get all kinds of activity, sightings of the Hat Man, hellhounds, paranormal activity on the death, especially if it's a bad death. You know, there's all kinds of activity, man. You're gonna capture, you're gonna see things, hear things when that activity happens. When there's a death like that. You know, it happened to me. This month is one of the hardest months for me is because it's when I lost my mother back in 1985. The month of October is when I lost my mother. Uh, but yeah, I witnessed activity even on that day, which I know that there was other forces of the balance working that made that happen. You know, that's why I fight the spiritual war against these unclean spirits, DDNs, witches, warlocks, because I lost a loved one to the spiritual battle. My brother has lost loved ones to the spiritual battle. I'm more sure that everyone here has lost a loved one. Maybe they might have known there was a spiritual warfare, but that we all lost somebody to the balance. That's why I do what I do. I was 15 years old when my mother lost her life. My youngest brother and sisters were 5 and 2. I think I got a picture, man, but I know it's so many years have passed by, man. But everybody's doing good and stuff. You know, we always honor. I always honor my mother every year. You know, place a photo of her and pray on that day. Yeah, he almost. My brother lost 3 loved ones within not even a year, and almost lost another loved one because about 2 weeks ago from the woman he was married to a brain aneurysm, which would have been 4. But we prayed for her, for the Heavenly Father to protect her and heal her. And so far as to my understanding, she's doing good. But imagine that losing 4 loved ones in a year. How could that be? The only thing I can think of something like that happening is because somebody's trying to buy themselves more time in this world, which means that I know that the mother still lives, which is the grandmother of or the mother of his ex that passed away. And to my understanding, what my brother told me that she was a witch, a bruja. So if they want to buy more time, they send the soul collector, which is a demon. They send them to the bloodline so they can buy themselves more time here on Earth. That's what they do. Could be your grandmother, could be your grandmother, great great grandmother, your mother, could be your father, grandfather, your brother. That's how they can try to affect generational curses. We're all our own person, so we have the right to refuse somebody trying to send something away. We're our own person, so we tie, bind, and rebuke it in Jesus Christ's name and let it stay with the sender. But yeah, there's some evil people in this world, man. It happened to me. People you think that they love you because they invite you, they cook for you and stuff like that. But then at the same time, things start happening around your home and activity. You're trying to figure out where all this activity is coming from. Yeah. Just, So I'll talk about the balance. I'm talking about this people are dark. I'm talking about evil, pure evil, because their souls don't belong to them no more. They've already made the blood pact, so they don't give or care about their next of kin. They'll feed them to the dogs if they have to. But the remainder life they have here on Earth is to do evil works. That's what they do. Is to do evil works. Those are the witches and warlocks I used to fight when I was a kid, and I still fight. Still run into them, man. But anyways, yeah, just gotta have to be aware of your surroundings and be careful when you go investigate, especially over there where you're trying to go use a missile down in uh was it Massachusetts?
Yeah, going to Massachusetts.
Yeah,
Staying in.
I had a friend that lived over there, and she told me about a lot of activity that happens out there. But just got to be careful when you go and do investigations.
See, I don't.
Stay prayed up.
It's not an
Stay prayed up.
investigation trip, thankfully, because I have no interest in doing that right now. And then Brenda mentioned Salem. It's 40 minutes from Lowell, where I'm going to be at. There's only so much time. It's going to be a short trip, but it's all good.
So we're at the hour marker, so that'll be 3 hours just about. Then I'm gonna call it a night, fellas. And tomorrow we have open mic night. You're more than welcome to come. And tomorrow, Thursday is y'all's night, man. Y'all can talk whatever y'all want to talk about, whatever you want to bring onto the table. I believe that there's witches to use portals to manifest inside your homes. They can enter if they're invited. They can enter any way if they're invited
Right.
by the owners, right?
That they
Which-
can just come
which
in
is- but the
invite.
demons, they necessarily don't have to use a portal, but they can enter if the head of the households are being bonded, then they have free entry, man. I've seen a witch one time where my mother would always tell us that she sees her standing in the hallway, and there was this witch coming after my mother, and she would see her all the time. She'll wake up, and she was standing right there. Then one day, man, like I said, I had spiritually gifted. One day, I sensed something, and I looked, and I seen the woman or the witch. She was laughing, because she would always come and laugh. She was laughing there, and I looked straight at her. I got up and I looked at her, and I told her, "You're not welcome here." And when I told her, "You're not welcome here," she freaked out that I told her that, and she disappeared. And then my mom didn't see her no more. You do have authority to take over, even if somebody's being spiritually targeted. You have the authority through Jesus Christ, because we're children of the light, to be able to do those kind of things. When I told her to leave, she stopped laughing, and I think she passed that lady, or which she lived down by the port in the woods somewhere. I believe she passed away after that. When I took authority over and told her to leave, she passed away. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, but if you do go to Salem in that area, try to record, man, and maybe you might capture something. Just don't be careful. The only thing I can tell you is be careful with people trying to offer you something.
Yeah.
Don't forget
There's a temptation here. Here's a slice of bread. Here's a sandwich. Go ahead and eat it. Hell no. Not if you're. That's what witches do, man.
We keep to ourselves mostly when we do our trips. So yeah, if that were to happen, we'd probably look at each other and be like,
Or they're offering you a
"Man."
drink to drink something. Gotta be careful, man. They might put something in it.
Yeah.
Before you
Like, you ain't
make
from
sure you
around
pray.
here, are you?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna be praying while I'm down there.
Just be careful, man. Or somebody come and try to touch you. You say, hey, how you doing? They touch you on the shoulder. Touch them right back. Oh, I'm doing okay. Because they could be trying to put something on you, man. Or they're talking to you, and tears are coming out of their eyes. Be careful because they're trying to transfer something to you. And there's a lot of things you've got to look up for when it comes down to spiritual warfare. But yeah, I think I'm going to call it a night, folks. Would y'all like to say something before I go? And tomorrow's open mic night. If you want to share some pictures or whatever, I'm more than welcome to jump on. It was just crazy how everything happened with me, that it booted me out and stuff, but that's okay. We type and rebuke that in Jesus Christ's name. That's what we're supposed to do.
Yeah. I don't have too much to share, but I'll stop by tomorrow. I mean, I got the Bachelor's Grove photos we could look at. I'm
All right.
just barely scratching the
You
surface.
see, we see something there in the photos.
Yeah, there's a few of them that they have some anomalies in them, and I take photos of the forest, so and it's like wide pictures. You can see a lot. It's very dense in there, but it'd be worth checking out.
Right, well, I don't really got anything. I might look up some random Honda stuff. Same thing over here, Steven. Might show a picture or two. We'll see what you guys can find in it that I can't see.
All right, that's fine, man. Bring your pictures or whatever. We'll view it and see what we can find tomorrow. We'll share a couple of stories or whatever, maybe how you were feeling that day, what you were sensing, what got your attention, and stuff like that. The time you were taking the pictures. But I really appreciate y'all guys for picking up the slack earlier. I was left to I was benched. I was benched by spiritual encrypted encounters. They benched me, put me to the sidelines.
Yeah, that sucks. I mostly came in because I didn't want to leave Steven hanging. Or like, hey, I'm doing nothing. Might as well join on and help.
Yeah.
Yeah, that worked out good for what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, take care, guys. I'm going to sign off, all right? I'll still be in the chat before you guys go.
All righty, brother. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Have a blessed day or evening.
All right, and I'll sign off as well. Thank you again, Abe, for having me. It's always a great discussion. So,
yes, sir. See you tomorrow.
I'll see you tomorrow.
Yes, sir. Or tonight.
Or
should
tonight.
I say?
Yeah. All right. Take care.
All right. Good night, brother. Hey, have you heard of brown cat's eye turning half green when worn? I've never heard of that, but I did have an encounter with a black cat one day. But the cat had white eyes. His eyes were rolled back white. Foam was coming out of his mouth. So when I was a kid, and he was on top of the tree, and he was trying to jump on me. My grandmother showed up and told me not to move. not to move to stay still. And this cat looked rabid. It looked like it was possessed or something. But I think he had rabies, and he had already bit other cats. He got in 3 fights with other cats and bitten them, and it was on top of a tree, a mesquite tree, and he was trying to jump on me. Um, but the man came, the owner of the property, which lived, there were our neighbors. He came and he killed the cat. He killed the cat. He said that the cat had rabies, so he killed it. You ever been around something like that, something that's rabid? I was just got to be careful, man. You know that cat has claws out, ready to frickin' scratch, bite, whatever he was going to try to do. I don't even know how he could see me if his eyes were rolled back white. The only thing I could see was whiteness in his eyes. It had the rabies. Yeah, I got tiger eye right here, up here somewhere. But in saying that, brothers and sisters, join us tomorrow here in Spiritual Encrypted Encounters. I want to say thank you for those that tune in to both shows. We had technical difficulties in the first one. I want to say thank you for tuning in. God bless you. Good night. Have a blessed morning and day. This is Brother Apesius, Sarcia signing off for Spiritual Encrypted Encounters. Good night, everybody.